Saturday of June 2006, and I listened to Surah 41 through 43. I discussed with the next door neighbor um, Hamas, Crusades, LBX, religious visions, and hello? I don't know what this is. I read Surah 10, 21 through 109, and the commentary and such. I watch St. Patrick, MAW. Oh, Man, Myth. I watched the Dervish Project. I performed the Lesser Pentagram Banishing Ritual, which my intention might be different than some people, because I don't. When I mention names of beings and rituals, I'm not necessarily saying, "Oh, yes, come here." So I'm not invoking angels and all that. Um, 27, 12, 14, 24, 23, 11, 14, 25. I'm not sure what that is. So on the Sunday, I listened to Surah 5 through 7. I watched Lon Malu Duquette's Kabbalah for the rest of us. And I watched most of the Ramses program, Wrath of God or Man. And I discussed with Mike cultural context of environmental, and what does that say? On the 3rd of July, I started the Sleep CD on the Hue, from that litany right there, but it was just the Hue. I read Surah Hud, so 11. I wrote out 12, 24, 12, 44 through 48. Oh, so I was writing out verses to look at regularly. Um, Today or the last Monday, it's the last fast in 2 weeks. For some reason, I wasn't fasting. I guess I was sick. Not contagious sick, but I watched Satanas. I watched the British Black Mass. I listened to Liber 15, the Gnostic Mass, Crowley's Gnostic Mass, not the Gnostic Mass I'm going to talk about in a program soon. I repeated along with it. I wanted to learn more of it. I talked to a couple of the brothers about, I don't know what I was talking about. And 776, I felt a strong presence which grew very strong as I looked at, so again, ritual practice. I watched I went back later and said, because I didn't fast, which was unusual. And I watched the International Profile, Hercules. Hercules, really? Did they have an episode on Hercules? I went to Masjid Anur, some program, Skim Madras. Okay, maybe there was a special lecture. There was a Jamaat group from Singapore there. And, okay, Bukhari discussion, many discussion. Okay, so I worked with the Jamaat Tabligh. I remember that book when I shared it. Well, when I shared about it, anyways. Um, so on to the fourth, I'm on to the fifth, 12:20 p.m. I went to sleep vibrating the ninth Enochian key. I listened to Surah 8 and 9. I watched the middle of the tribes of the southern woodlands. I drank wormwood in preparation of a invocation of some sort, which would have been 7:17 to 7:20 p.m. I watched Ancient Mysteries, but not wormwood like with hard liquor. I mean, just, something flavored with a little wormwood. Watched Ancient Mysteries, Apocalypse, something of Revelation, The Lost, many of Hate the Last, It's My Country, Last of the American Indians. Okay. Sorry, this is not going as smooth as some of them, but anyways, after this particular series, I think my writing my journals gets better. Listen to Surah 10 through 12. So Thursdays, I read Surah Yusuf, so Surah 12 with the comment. The rest of the tribes of the southern woodlands, reading from Black Elk Speaks, 10th key, Enochian key, scrying into the dark mirror. I drank the wormwood and uttered the thing. I watched Magical Egypt 1 through 3, the first series. There's a second series out, and there's a symposium. Well, I guess the second series isn't done, but there's the symposium series, but it's coming out. So there was a crystal, like vertical streak of color, a wave. The presence grew as white, and a cloudy white cube was in the mirror. Okay, that's it with that experience. And so from the 7th, we have 607, the Enochian dark mirror. The mirror and everything was within a foot. The mirror and everything within a foot of it shook. As I stared on, the shaking stopped when my head shook. When my head shook, my body was still. A jinn clothed in Janut white cloud of some sort moved before blackened angles. This Janut white jinn put off spirals of Janut red as it moved around the edge of the mirror, and I saw millions of neurons, and I knew they were mine. I am joyously tearful and tingly after this abundance of experience. After this wondrous experience. And so I watched Magical Egypt 4 to 5 that day. Ancient Almanacs, Satan, something. Listen to Surah 46 through 49 and 13 through 17. From the 8th of July, 2006, I read the Illuminated Haggadah. I wrote out Achidmi Yudah, Surah 12, 1 through 111 are the end of Surah Yunus. I said Subha with Father twice, Subhanallah 33 times, Alhamdulillah 33 times, Allahu Akbar 33 times. Black Elk Speaks, see 7 through 10. And I went to the Bayon on Death, Angels, and Scans at Masjid An-Nur. I watched Magical Egypt 6 and 7. And what does that say over there? I listened to Surah 18 and 19. So on the Sunday, when I watched Magical Egypt, I wanted to say that I took a lot of notes when I watched Magical Egypt 1 through 8. And Subha with Father, listened to Surah 20 through 24, Strawberry Scent Offering, and Cosmic, Mineral, Plant, Animal, Human mythology is an important breakdown to consider. And I hope I don't have to delete this in the middle. I listened to Surah 25 through 28. I said Subha with Father a number of times. I didn't get around to writing it down. At this time, there's far more being written, a far higher percentage being written in other places. So I hope none of that was lost. I watched Mysteries of the Bible, The Last Revolt, Zamfriz, Pristak, the 8th Enochian author, the author of One's Worship, and from the 11th, listen to Surah 29 to 36. Okay, I apologize for not having a more better title, I guess, but I guess there's a couple more experiences to share here, because Spiraling Spirit and the vision, crystal globe, spiraling spirit, and the vision of the brain, or something like that, would have captured more of the things that came up here. Read Surah Eden, the unexplained multiple personalities. Listen to Surah 37 through 42, said Subha with Father, the next day. And on the 12th, I watched Digging for the Truth, Hunt for the Lost Ark, Quest for Dragons, Search for Eternal Egypt. I read Surah 14 and something from Black Elk Speaks. Surah 14, when I read the Quran, I obviously read the English and the commentary. And Black Elk Speaks, I got to the appendix there. And on the 13th, which is a Thursday, I started my sleep CD on Perkins' Shamanistic Quest. Oh, that might be an interesting one in the future to work with and then say something about, to give some ideas or some opinions of the thing. I watched the last... Hold on, let me fix my shoe. I watched the last half of National Geographic's In the Ancient Pyramid, Digging for the Truths, The Abominable Snowman, Decoding the Past, The Ten Commandments, Most Evil in the 21st Century, Cryptology, Dragons, Last of Black Elk Speaks. I wrote a series of on it. I'm not sure at what point it's appropriate for me to share those notes. I made a something collage. Not one of the collage, one of my Kabbalistic collages. Oh, the Abrahadabra. Which one was that? Was that the pelvic center? Or was that the center of the chest? I listened to Surah 43 through 47. And on the 14th, I went to the Martin Luther King Khutbah. I wrote out the last verses of Surah 12 maybe. Um, Black pepper was an offering I made. I drank rosehip tea in preparation of invoking Yod to scry the 19th Enochian key with the 8th author. I listened to Surah 18 through 50 and is that even possible? 18, 50 and 49 through 55. Okay, I must have written that down wrong. I watched prophecies. I went, not that I'm accepting everything that people's claiming as prophecy. I went to the Bayan at Masjid an-Nur, and okay, what? The content. Oh, that's coming from a different place. Okay. The mystery of birth, the mystery of baptism, the mystery of worship, the mystery of. Okay. And from the 15th, we have watched Sukhavati preview, The Power of Myth, 1.8, Magical Egypt 6 through 7, made a burnt offering of some sort. The Mystery of Resurrection as an Ascension. What was the first one? Mystery of Birth, Baptism, Worship, Mystery of Crucifixion. Okay, there was a whole series, I guess, of things on. And the Dhikr ceremony, and the reading of the Music of the Soul on the 16th. And so this was a Sufi experience that I don't remember sharing, so I'll share this here, obviously. And I'll get back to drawings and such like that of some other things later. From the 1st of the 17th of this, 7/17 of the 6th, there was a lily-scented cloud surrounding, and this was in the context, it may mean how beautiful and fragrant my worship was, because there was no lily cloud in the room. The assumption of the Kyrgyzia? I don't know what that is, but that must have been a program I was watching on the Saturday. The crystal appeared like a globe in the shape of a waning moon. Euphol was a dark silver, and there was a shining violet, surrounded by the vacuum of space, in the context of. Okay, I'm hoping there's a better record of that somewhere. So I watched Magical Egypt 8. I went to sleep, sang the last half of the God hymn, and I watched Crusades in the Crescent. The Call of the Aethers with the 8th Enochian author. I listened to Surah 58 through 72, 53 to 58. I'm not sure why I'm listening it that way. A strawberry scent offering. And let's give you the picture here. And so from the 20th, I'm on the last one here. The 17th, I'm sorry, 17th. I watched Mysteries of the Bible. Judas, the kind of Mysteries of the Parthenon, the Kutamate, Ancient Almanac, ancient altar, ancient altered states. Yes, we have over 50 chemicals in our brain and body to which we can experience what people turn to drugs for. Without the drugs, without this sadomasochism, but how many are going to actually do that? I watched Giants, Friends or Foe. I said the Yod hymn vibrated the 19th Enochian Ather was Zid. I scried into a jade crystal hanging by a string. There was a strong presence, and the crystal disappeared. Or 14 through 15. And okay, on the 19th, I started the sleep CD on. What did I start it on? I listened to Surah 66 through 114. Yeah, that's reasonable. I was taking notes on Black Elk Speaks. And the appendix, I listened to Surah 83 through 114 repeatedly. Okay. Listen to 72 through 114. I took notes on the. That's Unexplained Doom. Last something of Unexplained Doom. That's interesting there. So the 19th, there was Conspiracy Files. I listened to the Surah 72 through 114. Ancient Mysteries, Lost City of the Incas, Great Ideas of the 20th Century, Aleister Crowley, The Other Loch Ness Monster, Masters of Darkness, another show about Aleister Crowley. I listened to something once, watched Harun Yahya, something of the life of this world, and read Surah 15 with commentary. And for the 20th, there was Ancient Mysteries, Mummies of the Dead, or something like that. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I think I watched a show about that rather than the actual movie. 4:14 to 4:20 p.m. I meditated with, what did I meditate? Oh, the Yoga of Sound, Shabda Yoga. I listened to the English and commentary at least 10 times of 85 through 114, maybe. So during the meditation with the Yoga of Sound, there was a gray light. Things surrounded through a sphere glowing. And I am not sure what that breaks up into there. I felt. Okay, yeah, I don't know. So on to the 21st, I watched the last part of Ancient Almanac, Holy Ground, and Sacred Places from World Tour. I watched Ancient, The Mysterious, The Spot, Secrets of Mummies. I fell asleep by 4:20 p.m. I watched the Bible Code. Oh, I fell asleep at 4:20. 4:10 to 4:35 p.m. I meditated with the Yoga of Sound. I scried with the Shakti Yoga CD into the jade crystal. I listened to Surah 89 to the last of the CD 10 times. And that Friday, I read Surah 16. I went to the Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard Khutbah. I watched Keeping the Faith, Becoming a Priest, Mummy Detective, The Three Kings, The Wonders of Ancient Egypt, and I listened to Surah 89 to the end of the CD at least 10 times. Okay, this is upside down. Or is it? Where I was, I lay. Okay, so on to the Saturday. A turquoise cloud was around the crystal where I lay was okay, I saw a crystal. I felt tingly. Okay, winding it around made sense at the time. I scried in the Jade Crystal, it grew brighter. There was the Bhakti Yoga CD. Oh, the Bhava Yoga CD. Okay. Shabda, I don't remember all three, but there was a concentric ring of psychedelic colors surrounded by those. I listened to Surah 91 to 95 at least 10 times. I listened to the Yoga of Sound. And, okay, from the Sun, Stones, Pyramids, Science of the Bible, Secrets of Revelation, The Hunt for the Lost Ark. I scried in the Crystal 416 to something. And from 5:50 p.m., the Yoga of Sound, the Shabda CD, I set the crystal grew brighter and brighter around the pole I laid down and looked at the crystal, disappeared, and I saw and so what did I see when the crystal? I saw a faint count of something as appeared one after another. Oh, I saw something one after the other. What does it say? Tras. Koiritra. Yeah, I'm not sure what that says, but I saw something that disappeared one after the other. And my shoes squeaked because they're kind of wet. And I listened to the Yoga Sound. I watched The Lost of Atlantis, A through C, The Crusade, The Crescent, and The Cross, and so I didn't notice, but in some of the books, Herodotus shows you where Atlantis is. You find out that the Berbers have their mythical ancestor as Atlantis. You find other evidence that was there before. More has been discovered since. Even I didn't know that the Eye of the Sahara was the dimensions of Plato, but it was interesting that, okay, the Crusader and the Cross, the Crescent and the Cross, the Crusades. I read Aleister Crowley's The Urn, Liber 72. I wrote notes on The Black Elk Speaks. I listened to the Yoga of Sound. So 6:20 to 6, what does that say? 6:50, 6:20, 6:30 to 7:51 p.m. I stride into the Jade Crystal with a Shakti Yoga CD. I saw a yellow glow around the crystal. Started to see, I was surrounded by a blue gold. There was a multicolored bird in the crystal. It moved, but was silent. Oh, I didn't notice that. So I had a vision of a little bird in the little crystal. And if the crystal was in the room, I would show it to you, but apparently it's not. I know where it is, though. I wrote out 1587 through 92 from the Quran. A present fire rolled over the bed, followed by psychedelic scenes. That was another thing that appeared in Meditation 2:26 p.m. From the 25th, I read God is One, R. Marston Spite. I listened to the Yoga of Sound. I'm not sure what that, okay. I watched Mysteries of the Bible, Jesus Holy Child, Naked Science, Who the Unexplained, Who Built Stonehenge, The Unexplained Bones and Burial, Decoding the Past, Ramses, Heaven and Hell, Lunch with, I don't know. I listened to 97 through 114 of the Quran. Hold on a sec. About that. Heaven and Hell, the Ramses show again, and the 26th, I watched Magical Egypt, Beyond the Pyramids, Death, Me in the Mosque, Ancient Almanac, Herod the Great, World Tour, The Sacred Waters of Lourdes. Is that how you pronounce it, Lord? I went to the discussion at Masjid An-Nur. I started science. I started the sleep CD on the Shariat Ki Sugmad. I finished writing something. A physical. Okay, what is this? I read 85. So I listened to Aleister Crowley's Speaks, the audio clips that are available on the internet. Science of the Bible, The First Christians, and I wrote Surah 1668 through 70. So, July. Oh, there's one more after this page. I listened to Giants of Philosophy. India, maybe. I read Surah 17, Surah 4 through 5. I listened to. I watched Mythos, The Way to Illumination, The Experience of God. On the 29th, there was The Power of Myth, 2, 3, and 5. The Dervish Project, Nostradamus, 500 years later. Nostradamus was an expert at false prophecy and political commentary disguised as religion, so priestcraft, basically. I listened to Giants of Philosophy, Friedrich Nietzsche repeatedly. Okay, that's what I was listening to. That makes sense. Watched Lon Milo DuQuette's Kabbalah for the Rest of Us and his Tarot, Kabbalah, and Oracles. I watched Antichrist 0 Hour. You might want to watch my Antichrist agenda video to cue you in on what I figured out about conservative and fundamentalist Christianity and what they have to say about the Antichrist. I listened to Howard P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu. And The Call of Cthulhu is one that I've meditated on. At some point, I'm not much of a fiction person, but Michael Muhammad Knight, I think he still has a couple things I haven't got that are fiction. I'd prefer his other books. There's H.P. Lovecraft. You can get all his fiction in one volume now, and I was inspired by actual experiences. So we have the pentagram right sort of thing, the layout there. That's the last from that. So the last entry for July 31st, obviously. So I watched Mysteries of the Bible, something about Abraham. So what was with the sixth Enochian author, 6:06 p.m. to 6:19 p.m. The crystal grew and shrunk as it glowed. And it got dark. There was a flow of colors. There were numerous psychic experiences, and I discussed with Mike likely a lot of the experiences there. Listen to Surah 6. I read Surah 18 and Quest for the True Cross is something I watched. Ancient. Okay, Acts. Any comment or question as I close this? And remember, I'll get back to the Heaven and Hell series after the next, 5 entries of that.